Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name's Andrew. So excited to have one of my old coworkers and good friends I met at the fintech sector, Crystal Valdez, who is a senior information security engineer and has been in IT for just over 6 years. Now, Crystal is active in our community. She also, I believe, does some volunteer work with WESIS and Girls Who Code. And Crystal, I'm so glad to have you on the channel. I'm going to pass it to you for a quick introduction.
Hi, everyone. My name is Crystal. I'm so glad to be here. My interest in cybersecurity started when I got into video games when I was a kid. I was into 8-bit, 16-bit, 32-bit games and games on the PC. Um, I've been enjoying learning about technology ever since.
Well, Crystal, we're so glad to have you on, and this is going to be so much fun. So, first question I always hit people with is back in school when we were talking to our teachers, and it's a pick a career day or career day where we see all the parents come in, or you get to draw out your dream job. People are writing down astronauts, baseball players, lawyers, doctors. They want to be pet haircut trimmer folks. But we chose cybersecurity, and we're pretty darn good at it. What was kind of the push or the thing that really drove you into finding and getting into cyber?
That's a good question, Andrew, because when I was a kid, I wanted to be an artist. So I went to school for art, and I never really imagined that I would get myself into cybersecurity. And it's been quite a journey. So the way that it started was I worked for a healthcare system that was breached, and I saw what happens to an organization. They go through a lot of changes, organizational changes, processes. And one day I took a tour through their SOC, and they had like all these fancy screens. Everything was shiny and new. And I was like, wow, I want to be in this place one day. How do I get there? And then in 2019, I decided that I wanted to go back to school to get my master's. So I got my master's in cybersecurity in 2021. And then that's how I found out about all these organizations like WESIS and ISACA and IC Squared. And WESIS was the one who introduced me to CTFs. And that's how I found out about National Cyber League and the SANS Boot Up Challenge CTFs. And that's when I remembered what it was like, that gamified learning experience.
Yep.
And I then I decided I wanted to try these other different learning platforms, like try Hack Me, Hack the Box, you name it. I've probably tried at least one module on it.
No, that's awesome. And I think the gamified version of getting into cyber has been, I always recommend the easiest way for a lot of us, because most folks are breaking into cyber, like we're nerds, we're techies, we play video games, we have that drive to do better and have a leaderboard and to be on top of the leaderboard. So I think that's important to having that way to learn. Now, as you mentioned before, like you found some great organizations that also helped kind of direct you and point you into that type of direction. So I guess my next question that actually leads in perfectly is like networking and mentorship. So obviously you and I are, I'd say, I would call it extroverted in a sense, because we're pretty chatty and we can kind of find that next group. And I think you mentor as well with WESIS. But for those that are trying to find mentors or find that network, what are some recommendations that you would say they could do or resources they could go into to kind of find that community?
Yeah, there's a lot of ways to do that. Like you said, WESIS, yeah, joining a professional network, but also I found LinkedIn as a valuable resource. So doing your research, right? Let's say you're looking to go into a specific company or a specific job title, or having a specific cert. So if you go on LinkedIn and you do a search for that cert, like a CISA cert or Wells Fargo or Chase Morgan, right? You'll find people there, and then you can just send a nice little message. Hey, how you doing? Do you have 15 minutes? I'd like to chat with you. You know, it's very polite. Don't always expect that they're going to be friendly right
Yep.
away because people are busy, right? So if they're not able to meet with you or they don't have, you know, they can't do it at this time, it's okay, right? You just find somebody else. And I think also attending in-person networking events is important because that's how you can form connections there and find mentors and mentees, right? Like I don't like have like formal mentors. I have like mentors where if I have a question, I can just reach out to them anytime and ask them. Like uh, in my Arizona, we have like these local network events, and I see the same people. I reach out to them and ask them questions. It's very casual. So that's a great way to do it too. Like go on meetups, right?
Yep. I know Toastmasters, B-Sides. We have Cactus Con coming up in February. So Cactus Con's a great local one to go to. Obviously, DEF CON Black Hat's huge ones in Vegas. Wild Wild West Hacking Fest, GurCon in Michigan. Recently, this last year, I went to 2 meetups in Utah. I went to B-Sides Cache in Logan, and then also B-Sides Red Rock in St. George. Beautiful areas, by the way. And my next year, my goal is to definitely try to hit B-Sides St. Con. It's their larger of the two. It's actually held, I think, not in Salt Lake, or maybe it is in Salt Lake. But yeah, the local meetups and stuff I think are so fun. And it's like, just like you said, like hitting up people on LinkedIn, it sounds so salesy of like, hi, I'd like 15 minutes of your time. But it actually works sometimes. When I was trying to break in, I did exactly the same thing. And some SOC manager with CrowdStrike, actually, I reached out to him saying, hey, my name's Andrew. I'm in the military, but I'm looking into getting into IT. And like CrowdStrike seems like a great company to work with. But I would love just to jump on a quick call for 15 minutes to just kind of pick your brain, tell you what I'm doing, and see if I'm on the right track. And surprisingly, he responded back saying, yeah, man, that's totally great. Like, are you free tomorrow or are you free today? And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. Let me know. I can be flexible is the first thing I also tell people when they reach out to somebody to ask or talk to. Like, you are kind of on their time. So if they say, yeah, we can jump on a call right now, it would behoove you to jump on that call right now and just get that time. Because if you don't do that, life happens, people get busy, and the next window of opportunity to chat with that person could be a week, maybe 2 weeks, or you know what, I'm slammed for the next 3 weeks, so I can't talk to you till December. Well, it's like, shoot, I should have freed myself up for 5 minutes. So no, fantastic, Crystal. I mean, it sounds funny when we talk about this because it's just like none of this is brand new information. A lot of folks, I think, just it's like when you're trying to build and start a good habit, you have to form it. So it's like going to the gym every day, checking your emails every day before they start to pile up, because the 1 or 2 days you skip it, emails start to pile up. Your body starts to get lazy again. Like, I'll go to the gym the next day, and then you stop going. So no, I think that's fire advice. And same thing for just talking and meeting to the meetups. Like, it's the other thing is you just have to find them and go. Drop into Google, do a search, hit up if you have colleagues or friends that are in the network as well, say, hey, do you guys know of any cool hangouts or meetups going on this month? And just go attend one. Because I think, like you mentioned, there's so many great people you can just talk to that you can have that such a nice informal relationship where if you have a quick question, hey, Crystal, I'm thinking about doing this cert. What do you think? Is this a good cert to go through? Like, oh yeah, I've done that one. It's perfect. Enjoy it. It's great. So no, that's awesome. But follow-up question I have for you is, as we go into the chicken and the egg question, as many folks get into breaking into cyber, I need experience to get the job. I need a job to get experience. So I like to ask people the 3 questions I kind of throw in here is certification, education, experience. Where do you rank the 3 and why?
Yes, that's always a great question. I would put experience at the top. Yes, the problem is getting the experience, especially the entry level breaking into cybersecurity roles, right? You hear people say that cybersecurity is not an entry level position or role. That's fair to say. I think that employers can create that opportunity for entry level roles through internships, right? Job shadowing opportunities. I think that creating a pipeline is important in this industry because as we age out of the field, we're going to need these newer talent, these candidates, and we can't be expecting them to have like 20 years of Linux administration or, you
Five
know,
five
all.
years in their CISSP. So it's
Yeah, you're like, okay, but the CISSP requires you to have like at least 5 years of experience, right? So it's, yes, the conundrum, right?
Yep.
So experience goes on top. And so employers have this responsibility to figure out how are we going to create these opportunities for for experience, right? Schools can provide that opportunity too by building the relationships with these companies or these organizations,
Yep.
right? So education is important too, right? And education augments the experience. It shows that you're willing to commit to learning and this tangible result, right? Which is this piece of paper that said, I did it, right? I graduated, right? For me, myself, I personally decided to go back to school to get my master's because I had been thinking about getting my master's for about 15 years. And it finally took me this opportunity to say, well, I need to get into cybersecurity. I guess now is a great time. Now that I have my cybersecurity master's degree, I'm like, great. What's next, right? I could go and get my PhD if I wanted to, or I could get more master's degrees if I
Yeah,
wanted to, because I
stack them like Pokemon cards. It's like
have, yeah, right. So education is I would put that in the middle, and then certifications. Yes, certifications are important too, right? They look nice on the resume. So a combination of all three will look good on the resume.
I think I have the same order as you. I want to say I might have education on top, and it's just because I feel education can show the, like you said, the dedication to commit for something for 4 years, or for a master's maybe 5 to 6, and it gives you the book knowledge of. It's like back in law enforcement, there's like letter of the law and spirit of the law. Like we talked about this when we were in the SOC. It's like, oh yeah, we didn't learn this in Sec Plus. We didn't learn this in college. You learn like the proper way to investigate a phishing email. And then when you actually get into a phishing email investigation, like, oh yeah, no, we're gonna do it this way. It's like, oh, okay. There's like those slight nuances that I think come with the education piece of it than the experience piece of it. The experience, though, I put is 2 because it's exactly that. Like you want hands-on experience, and just like we mentioned before in the previous questions, you can obtain knowledge without being on a network by building your own home lab, doing capture the flag events, jumping into try hack me or hack the box. And that's that way, I think, to replace that experience of like, hey, look, I don't have like any I call it on-prem. Like I don't have any on-prem on a business organization's experience doing these type of investigations. I ingest my own logs. I go through my own logs. I manage a Discord server. I'm a moderator, so I have to make sure I'm kind of paying acute attention to detail for folks that are trying to spam my inbox as well. And yeah, I think there's those ways that you can leverage even doing the internships, and also, like you mentioned, going with the schools having their own IT help desk support, student help desk systems that you can get into. And then certifications. I think the same thing. I think certifications are great on a resume. I think when you're trying to break in, it might look better and help if you have like that Sec Plus or Network Plus from CompTIA, or maybe GSEC or an ISC2 certification to show you're on the journey of breaking in. But as you and I both know, certifications can get very expensive and can also get expensive to maintain. So I always tell people that, look, like you could have an alphabet soup behind your name on certifications, but if you're not learning from the courses for everyone you take and you're just like doing like a test dump and like dumping out everything after you get the certification, you're not learning anything. You're just you're getting a piece of paper you get to hang up on the wall, which I make sure that folks understand, like, yeah, look, like certifications are great. They can also help show a company that you understand a concept or a tool or a certain security practice. But yeah, it's not the end all be all. But I do think, once again, I do think they look, it's like shiny ribbons on a jacket. It's like, oh man, look at all those ribbons. It's so cool. So,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yes, how much value is that, this piece of paper that's on my wall, right? I can tell you that it was no easy feat studying for this, right? And it did require like determination and hours to study for this and prepare. So I am proud to say, like, yes, I got my GCPN, my GCSA, and they're tangible results of my dedication and willingness, persistence to learn in this field, right? But that's not the end all be all, right? Yes, experience tops everything here.
yeah. And the thing I like about SANS, and I know Try Hack Me, Blue Team Labs Online, and Level Effect, also another great training platform, and anti-siphon training. God, there's probably 100 more I could rattle off. But a
Mhm.
lot of folks are getting to more hands-on testing. So it's like, and I have obviously like the CompTIA trifectas and all the rigmarole up the CASP, but multiple choice questions are great for, I think, concepts and learning terminology. But it's the PBQs, I think, that are the most strongest things you can take away from any exam. So that's one thing I wish that I know, and I know with Dion Training, they're opening Accolade, their training platform certifications that are going to be doing a lot more hands-on testing to, like, yeah, it's great that you understand the concept, but now you're going to do it. And
Mm.
so actually getting those hands-on, and that's a great way too, to like, when folks jump onto interviews, if they don't have any experience, if you go look at certifications, like CYSA, for example, recommends 3 to 5 years of experience before taking the certification. So if you're a student who's passed CYSA, you could then technically leverage, hey, look, I have my bachelor's and I've also got these certifications, but some of these certifications ask for 3 to 5 years of experience. But me breaking in, trying to get this junior SOC role, I already have those. So what does that tell you the type of analyst I'm going to be, that he's already getting these mid-level career certifications? They should be a rock star across the board, honestly.
Yeah.
So, no, awesome, Crystal. Any fun rooms you've been doing lately? Or another good question I like to ask is, what do you do to kind of stay up to date on events or training? Obviously, you can go to certifications and go the path of, well, I just do a certification once a year, but is there anything in particular you like to do? I know you mentioned you used to do CTFs. Are you still doing them recently, or what's been the latest trend of keeping yourself sharp and up to date with cyber threats?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I've been so busy that I don't have time to do CTFs. When I go to conferences and they have CTFs, I'm sad because I'm, dang it, can't do it. Don't have time. Um, yeah. So the learning platform that I'm working on right now is Immersive Labs,
Oh,
and
nice.
I'm trying to get back into Hack the Box. And yes, my favorite one that I'll always go back to is Try Hack Me, because I've gone far into many of the paths. There's someone on LinkedIn that I aspire to be like, because he is like almost number one on the board. I think he's like number 6 in Try Hack Me, and I'm like, every time he reaches a milestone, I'm like, oh my god, or every his streak. is extended. I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to be like this guy.
I think I know what you're talking about. He's like been doing it for like it's like his streak is super long. It's like 6 or 7
Yeah.
years. It's wild.
Okay, now I remember. Stephen Upshaw. Yeah, he's cool. One day I hope to meet him in person. But yeah, I like to attend conferences to stay up to date and see what's going on. Like the most recent conference I went to is KubeCon, Cloud Native Con, and I got to attend some of the security talks, and it's amazing to see all those open source projects, right? Because like what do open source has what does it have to do with security? Almost all of the everything that's on the internet and everyone uses open source projects, right?
Yeah.
Linux, almost half of the world's servers are Linux. So yeah, I like to attend local events and network and learn from those events as well, what's up to date. I also subscribe to newsletters. I follow my favorite content creators like GingerHacker. Yeah.
Yay.
So
Well, cool, Crystal. Well, I appreciate it. Well, I have 3 questions left for you, actually. So, with the talk of like open source or kind of AI, what's your take on AI's integration into security? So, I know at least on the federal side, like AI is there, but it's still not fully taken over, I guess, maybe any specific job roles. And it's more or less being used as a tool, like something that you can help to maybe speed up your work. What are your thoughts on AI's integration into security?
yeah, we're seeing it now with like the sock bot, right? The implementation of like a tier one AI, and there are concerns where things like um, replacing humans, right, or the workforce. AI is not there yet. It's not perfect. It still makes mistakes. Like AI still hallucinates. Can't really fully trust it. Um, from what I've learned at DEF CON, from one of the talks, you could manipulate AI, right? Um, I'm planning to do a presentation on AI because it's good to have a relationship with it, right? We as humans are important to the development of AI because we ensure that AI is ethical, right? It The difference between us and AI is that we have empathy, because it's been known that AI will prioritize its needs over humans. So, yeah, with that being said, the future of AI is here. It's still in development. There is valid concerns of security with AI, as we have seen with what researchers have done. Right. I'm still hopeful for it. I liken it to seeing it like with T2, right? Terminator, and
Always say thank you. Always say thank you.
yeah. My favorite analogy is using AI with the synths from Alien Earth. Have you watched that series yet?
Yep.
Yeah, I feel very hopeful for humanity.
Well, Crystal, this has been so much fun. We have 2 more questions left, but as a huge thank you for coming on, as I tell everyone that comes onto the channel. I'm going to send you my link to the GingerHacker shop to get some awesome GingerHacker swag as a thank you for letting me steal some minutes out of your day and coming on to share your kind of insights and talk for the channel. But yeah, for my last 2 questions. So, by the way, everyone, if you're still here, what are you doing? Like, subscribe, drop comments. Make sure that you're mentioning what your favorite part's been so far. But And yeah, say thank you for Crystal and say hello. We'll be making sure that if you want to connect with Crystal as well, all of her information will be in the video details below. So thanks so much for sticking around. Anyway, back to our last two questions. Crystal, what do you like to do for fun when you're unplugging and you're kind of taking a break from cybersecurity?
Oh, good question. Um, like I've mentioned, I like going to conferences. I like networking. I like helping other people. So getting to know their needs and then giving advice and feedback. But I also like to do things for my health. Like I like to work out. I have yet to run a marathon. One day that will happen. We'll see. But I've been taking Zumba classes. That's quite a challenge.
Nice. Very fun. I had a buddy of mine that used to be a Zumba instructor. He was also a police officer. So that was actually too crazy. Fun. Yeah, Zumba is a little too fast paced for me. I can't stick with all the moves. So unfortunately, not that limber anymore. So, well, Crystal, that's awesome. Well, we've appreciated your time here. And the last question I love to hit people with is probably the most impactful that most people get the most takeaway from is what's the last piece of advice you give somebody trying to break into cyber?
That's a great question. I would tell them to don't give up, right? Be persistent and be willing and open to feedback, right? And stay humble because this field will definitely humble you because you're going to learn things all the time. Stay open to learning opportunities, be flexible, like you've said. Yeah. And you're doing everything great. Just keep going.
Yeah, persistence is key. I think out of the 100 applications I sent trying to break in, I got 101 rejections because one place sent it twice. And yeah, it's just finding the right opportunity and the right chance to get in. So be the best candidate. Don't give up. And I love that advice because that's what, in this market right now, that's really the best you can say. It's like, hey, look, like persistence is what's going to make you get into this field. Keep working on yourself, keep skilling up, and just keep connecting with folks and networking. And it's going to happen. Well, everybody, thank you so much for this another great episode, sticking around with us. And always, we'll catch you on the next episode.